Welcome to Snooze Worthy, a podcast by Parenting Practice of Colorado, your window into the world of pediatric sleep, where we explore the science behind sweet dreams, effective sleep teaching techniques, and all the intriguing nuances of your child's slumber. I'm your host, Lindsey Birchfield.
And I'm Paige Legault. Together, we're here to guide you through the labyrinth of parenting, offering insights, strategies, and science-backed advice to make parenting during those early childhood years not just manageable, but truly memorable.
As pediatric sleep specialists, we've seen the transformational power of sleep in countless families.
And because parenting is a journey, we won't stop at sleep. We'll provide you with valuable parenting tips for every aspect of early childhood, from managing tantrums to fostering creativity and hitting those all-important milestones.
So whether you're a seasoned parent in need of a sleep overhaul or a new parent preparing for the joys and challenges of early childhood, Snooze Worthy is your trusted resource. Join us as we unravel the science of sleep, share practical advice, and make parenting truly snooze-worthy. Welcome back to Snooze Worthy. I'm Lindsey Birchfield, and I am a pediatric sleep specialist and mom of two. And I'm here with my friend and co-host, fellow mom and sleep nerd, Paige.
Yep. Hi, everyone. We're so glad you're here. Today's topic is one that so many parents bring to us in our DMs, our emails, our coaching calls, and our one-on-ones. And it is, why is toddler sleep so unpredictable? One night they're angels. They'll sleep from 7 to 7. We love that. And the next night they're up at 3 a.m. requesting toast, a wardrobe change, or that search party for their stuffed bunny.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. And it can leave you just wondering, what am I doing wrong? And the good news is probably nothing. Toddler sleep is just naturally up and down, and there are real developmental and biological reasons behind it. So today we're going to be breaking down those reasons and what actually helps to stabilize your toddler's sleep without power struggles or all those unrealistic expectations of them.
Absolutely. So reason number one is rapid brain development. Toddlers' brains are developing at lightning speed. Between 12 and 36 months, children go through a major, you guys, cognitive and emotional growth. Language is exploding. Imagination is coming online. New fears are forming, and emotional regulation is still
Yes, it is
a work in progress, to put it politely. All of this activity doesn't stop when their head hits the pillow. In fact, sleep is when the brain processes and stores everything they've learned that day from short-term to long-term memory. And that's why we often see increased nighttime wakings or resistance to bedtime during language leaps or big transitions in general. These changes don't mean your routine is broken. It means your child's brain is working overtime. When you see sleep disruptions that seem to come out of nowhere, consider what's changed developmentally. Put that thinking hat on again. Are they starting to talk more? Is their play becoming more imaginative? Those clues can help you respond with empathy instead of frustration. It's not a regression, it's a progression in disguise.
Yep. And reason number two is independence and boundary testing, which is my most favorite. I always tell my clients it's our kids' job to test the boundaries. And
It is
our job to hold them. But another big reason toddler sleep feels so chaotic, and it's they've discovered their own opinions.
Have they?
Okay. And they're testing what happens when they use their opinions. So around 18 months and beyond, toddlers begin to assert more control over their entire world. This is also inclusive of their bedtime. So they might now say no and run away when it's time to brush their teeth, or suddenly demand a different pajama set every single night. And this isn't disobedience. It's actually autonomy development. They're learning cause and effect, and they're testing that boundary, and it's how they make sense of their environment. So the key here is consistency and calm boundaries. So if we change the rules each night or negotiate endlessly, toddlers will keep testing that because they're getting a mixed signal. They don't know what's going to come. But when the boundary stays the same, they eventually stop pushing as hard. A consistent response is like, it's bedtime now, even if you're feeling silly. Let's go brush our teeth together. It helps them know what to expect, and it creates that sense of safety for them. Even if they resist, that predictability is still extremely comforting to them.
Yeah. It's counterintuitive, but it works.
It does.
So the third reason is inconsistent routines and that overtiredness. We talk about this a lot, but overtiredness is a big one, you guys. So this one might just surprise some of you, but toddlers who are overtired don't always look tired. It's like, what is going on?
In fact, they look the opposite.
They do. They often look like they've just had a Red Bull and they're bouncing off the
Mhm.
walls. They're giggling uncontrollably. They're resisting their bedtime like champions. They turn into the little negotiator who just has all these opinions. And that's because when a child becomes overtired, their bodies release that cortisol and adrenaline, the stress hormones that make it harder for them to fall and stay asleep. It's a protective mechanism, but it works against us when we're really trying to wind them down. And research from the Sleep Research Society shows that overtiredness leads to fragmented sleep and more nighttime wake up. So a lot of times we hear, can I just keep pushing bedtime later? They're not tired. You've actually missed it. And pushing it is just going to create those negative effects to deepen. Later than usual bedtimes can create a cycle of poor sleep that carries into the following day, and toddlers thrive on rhythm and consistency with wake ups, naps, and bedtime. So even when your day goes off course because life happens
It
to
does.
us, try to return to your routine the next day, and the more your child will become regulated and sleep will become easier and easier.
Yes. And here's one more bonus insight that I personally love. It's low iron and sleep disruptions.
Mhm.
So here's something a lot of parents don't hear about at all because it's not highly talked about. It's that low iron levels can significantly impact sleep quality. And studies, including a 2020 review in Frontiers in Neurology, show that even mild iron deficiency with normal hemoglobin levels can lead to increased night wakings, restless sleep, and difficulty settling at bedtime. And that's because iron plays a huge role in dopamine regulation, which affects alertness in the sleep-wake cycle. And if your toddler has a really hard time falling asleep and it seems unusually restless at night or wakes up frequently despite even a very strong routine, it might be worth checking their ferritin levels, not just iron. So talk to your pediatrician about getting a full iron panel done. And if the iron is low, the good news is that it's often an easy fix with just dietary changes or some supplementation, and it can dramatically improve sleep.
Yeah. And you are a living testament to this for yourself and for your oldest, low iron and was experiencing restless leg syndrome and lots of movement. And 3 days in, she was sleeping like a rock.
Yep. And it's been quite significant to watch just the quality of her sleep.
Yeah.
She never had an issue with quantity. And to be honest, she fell asleep fairly easily, but was highly restless. Just within a week of her being given an iron supplement, you should just watch the difference with how much higher quality sleep that she's getting, and the restlessness has gone significantly down.
Yeah. It was just a wonderful switch for Riley.
Amazing.
Yeah. So what actually helps? What can you do when your toddler sleep is all over the place? First, consistency is queen. So that doesn't mean perfection, but it does mean keeping the routine and expectations as predictable as possible. Toddlers don't need elaborate routines, but they do need to know what comes next. So visual cues like a bedtime routine chart or a color changing okay to wake clock is one of our favorites, can bridge that gap between your words and their understanding.
And second, intentional connections. So just 15 minutes of child-led play each day with one parent can really improve cooperation, reduce that bedtime resistance, and make transitions easier. Research from NYU show that short, focused, screen-free play builds security, emotional regulation, and trust. Toddlers who feel connected during the day are so much better at being able to separate at night.
100%. Yeah. And then the third thing is those loving boundaries. Saying no doesn't mean you're being harsh. It means you're helping them feel safe. When they get out of bed 10 times, calmly return them 10 times with a few words as possible that are always consistent. Your light is red. It's time for bed. And then on the second time, we're done talking. Feed it as little as possible so you don't get those big reactions. The kind of calm follow through that we're working for here, that's what was going to build that trust over time and reduces those power struggles. If on the 8th time you say, forget about it, and you bring them into bed, they know I just had to push this hard for this long, and then I don't have any boundaries. And that makes them feel so out of control.
Absolutely. And you just have to remember, this doesn't have to be something you figure out alone. Inside our parenting practice membership that we have, we walk alongside you through the ups and the downs of toddler sleep. And
Yeah.
you get access to our full toddler sleep course,
The full thing.
the full thing. What we do with our one-on-ones, live coaching calls, real-time support, and a supportive community of parents who are walking down the same road as you, which is just amazing. It's huge.
Yeah. And whether you're dealing with skip naps, bedtime resistance, or middle of the night requests, we've got resources and strategies that actually work. Click the link in the show notes to join us inside the membership today.
And if this episode helped you feel a little bit more confident or just a little bit more seen, we'd love for you to follow, subscribe, and leave a quick review. It helps more tired parents find their way to better sleep and more support.
Absolutely. We'll be back next week with more tools, stories, and sleep science to guide you through your parenting journey. Until then, sleep well. Bye.
Bye.